My name is Thomas Charles Davis or TCD Howell. I was born in Waynesboro, Wayne County, North Carolina, on February 22, 1814. My parents were Celia Boyett and Caleb Howell, both of North Carolina. In 1817, when I was 3 years old, my family moved to Moore County, North Carolina, residing there until 1824. I was 10, we migrated to western Tennessee and settled 16 miles south of Trenton, in Gibson County. I stood 5 foot 11 inches tall and weighed 165 pounds. I had blue eyes and dark brown hair. My parents and grandparents were plantation owners and followed the custom of the Southerners in owning slaves. There were not many settlers in this part of the country at this time. I was still living in Trenton when I formed an acquaintance with Sarah Stewart in the year 1835, who afterwards became my wife on the 5th of July 1835. Sarah Stewart was born on January 15, 1815 in Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee. Her mother was Ann Wallace from Mecklenburg, North Carolina, and her father was Samuel Stewart from Gallatin, Tennessee, who was a soldier in the Battle of New Orleans under Andrew Jackson. Samuel was killed in a small skirmish outside of New Orleans, Louisiana on December 23, 1814, one day before the treaty was signed. Samuel's death came less than a month before his new baby girl was born on January 15, so neither father nor daughter ever knew each other. In December 1843, when we had been married for over 8 years, the glad tidings of the gospel of Jesus Christ was sounded in my ears by elders Zachariah Wilson. I went into the waters of baptism after hearing the one gospel sermon preached. In the fall of 1844, I went up to Nauvoo, Illinois on a visit, and in the spring of 1845, I took Sarah and our 3 sons and moved to Nauvoo. We lived on Parley Street. In May of 1846, we left Nauvoo because of the swarms of attackers that were all around us. I joined the Mormon Battalion in July of 1846. I served Company E. In 1848, I returned to Iowa to find that my wife and sons were living in a log house covered with bark in the Little Pigeon Settlement. The town got its name from the creek that runs through the area, which was known as Little Pigeon Creek. A new road was proposed that would run from the prairie south of Carterville, through the latter place, passing through or near Canesville and extending up the Tabernacle Hollow to Little and Big Pigeon. This was destined to be one of the great thoroughfares in this county. Little Pigeon may have been incorporated into or its name changed to Crescent. It was in close proximity to Farmersville. A man known as Henry A. Terry was a prominent citizen of Little Pigeon. In the October 2, 1850 issue of the Frontier Guardian, the publishers thanked him for giving them homemade wine. By the spring of 1852, my family was ready to cross the plains into the Valley of the Mountains, and I was appointed captain of the 3rd Company that came to Utah in 1852. This company was made up of 60 wagons with 1 family to each wagon. The vast majority of the citizens of Little Pigeon left for Utah in my company. Upon arriving in Salt Lake Valley about the 15th day of September 1852, we settled in Provo, 40 miles south, through the winter. In the spring of 1853, we moved to Payson, Utah, 15 miles farther south. We moved from Payson, Utah after about 7 years and were with the first groups of people to help settle Franklin, Idaho in 1860, nearly 170 miles north of Payson. After pioneering in Franklin from 1860 to 1865, Sarah and I pioneered Clifton, Idaho, 16 miles farther north, where we spent the remainder of our lives. This is my sojourn in the wilderness story.